It says we're live. Are we actually live? It says we are. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Home Built Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. I'm going to have to move this camera a little bit. Just a little to get my angle that I want. Actually, I kind of like that other one. What is going on? How's everybody doing? Sorry about the delay. I had some weird, I got an error saying that my network was not fast enough. So I had to quick switch over to the hotspot on my phone, which is actually a lot faster. It just doesn't have quite the upload speed. So then I had to adjust some settings to hopefully get everything working, and hopefully everything is in sync. Not the band either. What's going on? Robert's here. Robert says hello. Hope everyone are doing well and safe and healthy. Time surfing, coffee up, right on, right here. I got it. Right on. Let's see. Yep, and it's delicious too. Robert says, time surfing got mine. Coffee, that is. And time surfing with the questions of the day. Will it be synced? Will we have right hand Jeff or left hand Jeff? Oh, hopefully we have left hand. Everything should be okay. The sync should be fine because right now I'm using the webcam, the audio from the webcam, which is already proven that it works well. But I do have the other microphone set up, and I'm going to take a couple minutes at some point here and see if I can get it adjusted. I'm looking at the meters between the two, and this one, which I'm not using at the moment, looks like it's way ahead from where the audio here is. So I don't know. We'll mess with that after a while. Let's see. Robert says, not sure. Hope it starts out good to go this time. I think it is. I think we're good. I'm relying on all of you to let me know. Time Servant says, I'm on to sweet tea myself. 2 cups of coffee, already drank. Me too. I've got 2 down. I usually have 2 first thing in the morning, just a regular coffee mug. And then this is my 3rd. Robert says, I'm on my 2nd mocha. Robert says, hey, you're looking correct today. Right on. Time Servant says, looks like a good stream, said the nurse. Oh, boy. Harry Dude's here. What's up? Hey, folks. Harry Dude says, what's up, dude? How are you doing this fine, let's see, Thursday morning for you? Wednesday morning for us. How's everything going down in Australia? Hopefully you're doing well, as you're not going to be roasting, but hope you're doing good. Getting everything, you getting more stuff sorted out, unpacked, organized from the move. Time Serpent says, hey, Harry Dude. Harry Dude says, it's getting colder here. Not happy. Harry Dude, I'm sorry. I know. Yeah. I still have to run the heat. We're not that warm yet. I don't know if it makes you feel any better. Yesterday was literally 32 degrees, so 0 Celsius yesterday morning. Yes. It's weird. We're this far along into May, and we still have this cold weather. This morning was like 35 Fahrenheit. So we're not there yet. Like the cold season here lasts so long. It's annoying to me, honestly, but whatever. I can't change it. Time Servant says, isn't everything down in Australia? Well, not if you're in Australia. Harry Dude, hey, Time Servant. Right on. Nice. So, you guys, if you didn't catch the live that I did on Sunday, was a Sunday evening, late afternoon, did an impromptu live stream. The channel hit 100,000 subs. So again, thank you. And that's all because of you guys. It really is. We hit 100,000 on Sunday afternoon, and just hopped on, did an impromptu live. Many of you saw it and were able to tune in, but for those of you that didn't, I want to just say thank you. It's amazing that we hit that milestone, and I feel like it is a milestone. It's pretty awesome. So again, for those of you that didn't catch it on Sunday, I want to again say thank you to all of you. So right on. It's so cool. So just wanted to throw that out there. I am beyond thankful to everyone. Let's see. So, Robert says, sorry you don't like the cold, but for myself, I can handle the cold better than when it gets real hot. You know, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or to Harry Dude. I know Harry Dude doesn't like it. Um, I I have grown to be able to just accept whatever it is because, my years of growing up working on a farm, it doesn't matter, right? If it can be hot, it can be cold, it can be rain, it can be snow, it could be sun, whatever it is, you got to go out and do the things, right? You just have to suck it up and go do it. But here, I think I would rather it be hot. For a long time, I would say I'd rather I was cold because I can always put on more layers. I'm sort of changing my thoughts on that based on working in the shop, right? So if it's 0 degrees, you can only put on so many layers and still be able to work, right? Like safely. But if it's hot, yeah, I just suck it up and do it. So I don't know. Either way, we're just gonna get it done. Let's see. Time Servant says 100K. Wow, I know, it's crazy. Robert says, cut the end of the stream again. Congrats. Thank you. Yes, Robert. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Time Servant says, so it begins. The circle of buffer. Really? I'm not noticing anything funny here. Nor am I seeing any errors. It says the stream health is excellent. I need to get another monitor so I can see. Well, maybe it is buffering. I'm going to stop that and see. Yeah, I think it might be buffering. But stream status says healthy. Anyway, there, I've paused all of my previews. Hopefully that helps. Sam, super chat. Thank you, Sam, with the super chat. Right on. Sam says, hello, Jeff. Congrats on reaching 100K. You absolute legend. Sam, no, you are the legend, my friend. Thank you so much. Right on. Let's see. Time surfing. GTSY. Sam Packins here. What's going on? Rick, how you doing? Says, yeah, congrats again, Jeff. Right on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sam says, time surfing. Hello. The time surfing. Time surfing. Too many years in sub-zero weather on top of 100 or 1,000+ foot towers. I don't blame you. When it's that cold, I couldn't imagine doing that sort of stuff when it's that cold, right? Your fingers get cold. I mean, and you're climbing. That just doesn't make me. It makes me feel uneasy. I mean, let alone being 1,000 foot up, that makes me feel uneasy in and of itself on a nice day. But trying to do that in the cold, yeah, I don't know. I've never climbed anything that high. Like the highest thing I would ever have to climb would be the silos at the farm, and they were 80 foot silos. So the first couple times I was a little weird. You're like, I don't know what, 15 years old or something like that. But after a while, you get used to it. But yeah, even in the wintertime, I have had to do it a time or two. Yeah, interesting. I wouldn't want to do 1,000 foot in the cold weather. Harry Dude says most of the workshop is unpacked and set up. Got to work out some lighting, as the garage only has a single bulb in the middle of the ceiling. Last space had 2 big fluorescents. Yeah, 1 little bulb. Yeah, you're going to have to... that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, throw up some big LED lights or something. Robert says, speaking about sucking it up, yesterday I got an order of a couple electric limb trimmer. Now I got to go out and do some trimming sometime. Oh, yes, the old tree trimming. Yep, I did a little bit of that the other day. Just kind of starting to go around. I've mentioned before that our growing season is well behind a lot of other areas in the country. I think because of our weather, our altitude and all that. And I'm starting to get into getting everything ready. And yeah, some of that is tree trimming. Time surfing, 2,000 foot with a double stack of 200 foot antennas is the highest I've climbed. Oh my gosh. It is insane. It is insane. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that. So, I mean, that's what? Like almost, or you're getting close to half a mile. That's insane. Do you have an elevator to get to partway, or is it literally 2,000 feet from the ground on a ladder? That's just wild to me. That's crazy. I've watched some of those videos, right, where they're climbing, doing the tower climbs. It's insane. It makes my feet tingle. Robert says, no way my knees would hold up to climbing anywhere near that high. Sam says, YouTube's getting overly aggressive with the adverts now. I get 4 double back-to-back and unskippable. Wow. Now I'm getting an error saying there's not enough. I'm not getting enough speed here. What's up with that? I'm not sure why. Now it's saying that there's no data whatsoever. Time Servant says, some have elevators, some don't. So I guess I need to know if we've cut out. Are we cut out? According to the thing, it's still streaming, but I don't know. Now it's saying users will experience cutouts. Why is that? Why? Let's change this here real quick. We'll drop that down. We'll change that. Hopefully that'll help. I just unfortunately dropped the quality a little bit. You guys let me know if we're still good, because I can't quite tell. It looks like we are. There we go. We're back to excellent. I don't know what's going on with the internet today, but I can say that remember I was talking about a couple weeks ago, month ago, whatever it was, that they were dropping fiber out in front. Well, they still have the ends of the cables, or the conduits anyway, sticking up out of the ground, but the crews have been going down. They were working out at one end of the yard yesterday, but they're not right there in front of the house where I'm going to be able to pick their brains, but they're getting mighty close. Hopefully some faster internet comes out of that. Alrighty, let's see. Time Servant says I'm here, so everything's still working. Good. Here, dude, stream's still good. Stem packing all good. Rick says I get sweaty hands just watching a high wire act. It's buffered once. Yeah, I know. You watch those things, like it makes my feet tingle and my ugh. Time Servant says Google Sutro Tower. I've been to the very top. It's at 900 feet. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. So anyway, what's everybody working on? What kind of projects are on your bench? What do you got going on? You can see in the back here a few things of what I'm working on in the background. I think I talked about this crate just briefly in the last live over the weekend, but I've got this old crate here, and I'm doing a little bit of I guess I wouldn't say a restoration, but just a repair. The bottom is removed from it right now. The bottom is missing a board, and it's a tongue and groove. You can see that tongue and groove piece. So I am working on making. That's blurry, but anyway, we're making a piece that fits on there, right? I'm basically rebuilding the bottom of this box. We had a corner busted off of it. There's really nothing in particular. It's just an old antique box of some sort. I don't know how old, but these old crates are kind of cool because they got the old vintage writing and logos and stuff on there, and they don't make these things anymore. So I figure I'm going to take a little bit of time. We're going to fix that. I got really excited, and the reason I decided to start this project was because I got to make some tongue and groove. And my thought at first was that I'm going to make one of those old school hand planes that, like a molding plane, so I could cut this tongue and groove by hand. But then I realized that the piece that I really need to replace only needs the groove. But I didn't realize that till after I just started on this. But anyway, we're going to finish it up, and then in the next video, I'm going to build one of those planes to actually cut tongue and groove, because really, I just want to. I want to make one, and it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a little while. So yeah, just kind of doing a little repair on this thing. Had to patch up this corner, and we should be able to get this thing back together today. Just a cool old crate, right? Nothing super fancy, but just trying to preserve some of this stuff. Like I said, they don't make these things anymore, and that's a piece of history. old shotgun shells and stuff is what this crate is. But there's a a cool old Remington logo. There's a DuPont logo on there. Just some neat old text, and I really like that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then once I get this done, then I am going to make one of those planes. I'm going to do one. You guys have probably seen them, right? Those little hand planes where you'll take a chisel and that gets used as the iron for the plane. In preparation for fixing this crate, I went and got a chisel and everything, just a cheap chisel from the hardware store. It's nothing super fancy, but it did sharpen up really well. I had got everything together because I was going to make this plane to do the tongue, but didn't really end up needing to, just because I got ahead of myself. I only needed to make a little tiny corner right there, so I just knocked it out on the router table really fast. But yeah. Let's see here. To the comments. Sam says, I'm watching this stream and moderating another stream at the same time. Right on. Robert says, I got a bit of buffering a little bit ago. I got backed up the status bar about a 1/4 inch and it smoothed out. Okay. Time Servant says, made a custom knob. Right on. I thought about that. I've thought about doing some of those. Rick says, I'm still working on a custom pig guard. Second attempt. Not much room for mistakes. Right on. You'll get it. You'll get it. Sent back and said, I'd like to find an old crate for a guitar top. Yeah, that would be cool. This one, if it was more busted up, I would consider using parts of this for something else. But since really the only thing that was wrong with it was missing a board from the bottom, that's why I thought, well, I'll just save it because I do like these old vintage wooden crates. But yeah, if it was busted up a little more, I would use this for something else. There's just some cool, some cool stuff, cool old writing and things on there, and it would be cool for, guitar top or something like that. Here it says, seal up the box and install a 5 to 6 watt valve amp. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be cool, actually. Well, at least it'll be repaired, and I'll keep it around. Oh, yeah, I like that. You can buy those kits, too. That's something that I've kind of been wanting to do. Get one of those amp kits and build it into that. Ooh, I like that idea. Good idea. Yeah. Time Servant says, wife's doctor's appointment have kept me from doing much of anything. Yeah, but you're doing what you got to do. There's nothing wrong with that. These things happen from time to time. So, yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. Working on this, just a quick repair on this crate. A quick repair, I'm saying it's going to take me with filming probably 2 or 3 days, but and then I'm going to start in on the hand plane just because I want to. Been doing some 3D printing, some radius block. This is for this is going to be a local. This is a local order. Got to deliver that to a tech here in town. Well, in the Springs. So they got that all made up. 3D printed. This is a 20-inch radius block. Also working on a few other 3D printed things. I mentioned that my friend Jim and I don't know if Jim's on here or not. He might be. Are working on some tool holders and stuff. That'll probably be a video when we get a little bit more farther along. Kind of. I learned to talk. But yeah, just doing some 3D printing. Getting things in order. Oh, one of the real tricky things, not tricky things, I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to read comments at the same time. Tomorrow is the very last day of school. My daughter will be out of school tomorrow. Today's only a half day, and then we have kind of an open house thing going on tonight. Tomorrow's the last day. Insane. I'm still wearing a beanie, and school's going to be out. Anyway. Let's see. Time Servant says, light bulb going off. Would that make it a crate? I need a little sound effect that I can play. Actually, I think that's really easy to do because I'm using OBS, so I can play a sound effect. I need to do that. Oh boy, yes. Harry Dude says single 12AX7 preamp and a single EL84 power amp. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Harry Dude, Descent Packin' says, I make a lot of pick guards. Can I help? Rick, let Harry Dude know what you got going on. Yeah, I know he makes quite a bunch of them. So, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Harry Dude. Appreciate that. See, that's why our this community is insane. It's amazing and it's awesome. Everybody's willing to help each other out, and that's exactly the way it should be. Okay, I just did something with my hand, and something popped up on the screen. I don't know what that was, but let's see. Robert says, I watched some of the YouTube videos where people go into old mines and find old dynamite crates. They're kind of neat. Yeah, I've seen that too. As long as they're empty, I don't think I'd want to come across old dynamite. That sounds dangerous. Rick asks, have you done a video on making a pick guard from scratch? Lots of vids out there to copy one, but only a couple of scratch builds. Thanks, Harry Dude. How can I reach you? I have not, Rick. I have not made one from scratch. Yeah, I don't put a ton of them on, at least on my builds. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have seen quite a few of copying them, and I know how I would do that. I don't see I don't see why you couldn't just trace it out, right? Like draw it out on a piece of paper, a scrap of wood. I like stuff like cereal boxes and that sort of thing, because it's just heavy enough, that it's got a little bit of body, and you can kind of mock up your thing. I'm trying to think through this. If I was going to build one myself from scratch, based off of just something sitting on the workbench, I think that's probably what I would do. You can find all of the dimensions for pickups and that sort of thing, so that you can put all of that stuff on the template. And I would just make one. I would just do a mock-up. I would do a cardboard mock-up. You can then if you screw it up, so what? You just get another piece and start over again. Poster board, anything like that. And then once you get the final shape, right, then you can go about making a template carefully. Well, I guess if you don't want to make more than one, you could just go right to the final, but I definitely would be doing some mock-ups, some samples. Another thing you might try, and this is, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, right? Again, saying I have never made one from scratch. I've never really needed to yet. Here's a piece right here. Hardboard, right? You can go buy a piece of 1/8-inch hardboard. Really, this stuff was like $5. I think this was a 4x8 sheet or something like that. This is actually a scrap left over from the sandpaper cabinet. But yeah, hardboard is super cheap, and I don't see why you couldn't make a mock-up out of that. So yeah, just a couple of ideas, just thinking off the top of my head. Let's see. Time Servant says, I need a new Dremel. Making a pick guard myself. Right on. It's like pick guard week. Senpakin says, hi, Time Servant. Time Servant said, good morning, Senpakin. Gotcha. Sam says, you could turn it into, now stay here with me, but you could turn it into a create. I'm with you, Sam. I gotcha. Where? Somehow I lost the. Hopefully we're still streaming there, because something has gone awry. I'm not sure why. Hopefully everything's good. Everything just went blanked out on me. Okay, we're back. We're back, apparently. That was weird. Let's see here. Okay, so Senpakin says, done that tracing thing. I'm going by measurements. Okay. Here it says 3mm MDF will be your friend, making a custom guard from scratch. Patty's here. Patty, what's going on? Right on. Patty says, coming in hot with a cup of tea. Congrats on hitting 100,000, Jeff. Well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And a cheers. Cheers to you. Coffee, tea, whatever it is. Cheers. Right on. Thank you. And welcome. Glad you're able to stop in. How's the travels going? That's so cool. And Francisco's here. Francisco says, "Hi Jeff, how you doing?" Francisco, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? How are you? And good morning. Robert says, "Yeah, finding old dynamite's dangerous. Only seen a couple where anyone has found any of the dynamite and have steered well clear of it once they saw what was in the box." Right on. Yeah, I wouldn't be messing with that. That's for sure. Time surfing. It's Patty and Francisco, GTSY. Okay. I guess I'm not hip. What does GTSY mean exactly? Oh, good to see you. Great to see you. Is that what it is? I've been thinking about that, and it wasn't until I actually said that out loud that now I now I know. Patty says, "Hey, time surfing. Hey, everyone, or in everyone." Sam says, "Yep, autocorrect sucks." Crate. Oh, gotcha. You gotcha. Okay. Yep, I gotta build that that little time or the sound sample. All right. Patty says, "Oh, Jeff." I'm not I'm not up on all these abbreviations. and I'll say it out loud too. Oh boy. At least I'm good for a laugh, from time to time. I'm okay with that. Okay. If you guys can humor me for a minute, I want to try this microphone right here for a second. It's not going to be in sync. I don't even like to say that because it reminds me of the band. But I do want to try an adjustment on there real quick. So I am going to switch over to that, and it's going to be off. Warning, warning. So I'm going to switch over to that right now. Okay, so now we're on this one, and the audio should be off. Can anybody examine it for a moment and tell me if the audio is behind or ahead? Because I don't know which way to adjust it. So I'm not going to leave it here because I don't want you guys to have to put up with that nonsense. But I'm trying to get an idea, because apparently when I test these at home, it doesn't translate to the actual live. So let me know. Is the audio ahead or behind? Time Surfing says, "GTSY, good to see you." Yeah, see? Patty says, "Nor am I, but a young person kept saying to me." Just Google it. Well, you see, I keep thinking that I'm just gonna, I'm gonna think about it. So the audio is ahead. How's that? So I've made a slight adjustment. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. So I've backed the audio up a fair bit, like almost an entire second. I can see it on the meters that the audio is not ahead, but I can't, it doesn't translate to me adjusting the latency. I don't know why that is. So is that any better right now? If not, then I might just let it be, because I don't know what else. I'm at 900 milliseconds behind. Oh, Robert says, "If dynamite is old and sweating, basically it's nitroglycerin and very unstable." Says audio is ahead. Okay, yeah, I backed it up. Why is it still ahead? I don't understand. Active. I've backed up a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I've backed it up 900 milliseconds. So if that doesn't fix it, We're going back to the other one. Time Surfing says still ahead. But did it make any difference? That's weird. I really want to use the lapel because the sound is so much better. Go to 0. Right now we're at 0. So it should have gotten worse, I'm thinking. Time Surfing says now the video is ahead. Oh! So now it should be back to audio ahead. So I've gone too far. Right now I've got everything at 0. So it should be way off again. Yeah, I don't know. It's really kind of weird, isn't it? So let's see. So that's right there. Put that back. Time Surfing said, oh, Time Surfing said almost there. Really? So where are we at now? Let's see. I'm going to clap. Oh, I forgot that it's going to cut that out probably. Check, check. Time Surfing says can't tell now. Ooh, does that mean we're getting close? Right now, right at this moment, it's fairly close. Let's see. Rick says, I'm in touch with Robin at Manton Customs. He has a pretty good video on custom pick guards. Used his video on putting a 3-way switch cavity in a build. Right on. Nice, nice. I'm not familiar. I'm going to have to look that up. Time Surfing says audio ahead. Audio ahead. Let's just change. I'm just going a little bit at a time now. But, oh, behind. Rick says behind. Ah, see, that's, I can't tell. Video's behind. Okay, so audio's ahead then. All right, so I backed it up a little bit more. I'm going to switch back to the other one here in a minute, but I did want to spend a couple minutes just trying to get the sync closer. Maybe we'll do it a little bit more next time and see if we can get it a little closer yet. Like I said, I do want to use a lapel because I just think the sound is so much better. So still, anyway, I'm going to have to try the monitor function. There's a monitor function in OBS, but I don't know how that works exactly and how I'm going to monitor it. Exactly, because the microphone plugs into the auxiliary. Robert says external mic sounds muted on my end as well as being out of sync. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other one. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. You can connect the external via USB instead of through the audio jack. Huh. Anyway, enough of that. We're back on the one that I know is in sync. So let's see. Rick says, I think the sound you had before is better and it's in sync. Really, the sound is better on the mic. That's impressive. I'm pretty impressed. Time Surfing says, I could see you say 3 while mouthing 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, so that's way off. Wow. Robert says that worked better. Well, maybe we'll just stick with it. And I'll casually work on trying to do something different. Yeah, see, the camera just works. It just works. Everything's in sync. It's got awesome quality video. And yeah, I don't have to mess with any of the sync. It's literally everything set to 0 for offsets on there, and it's working really well. So pretty awesome. Another vote for this webcam. It just works. Rick says, stay with what works. All good right now. Yep, duly noted. I will stick with this. Time Surfing says synced, just a little jumpy. And I believe a lot of that is because whatever internet issue. The last quite a few streams I've been plugged into Ethernet, not using Wi-Fi or anything. But right now there was some weird thing when I was getting ready to start, and I had to switch to mobile hotspot, which is what I'm on right now. So I believe that's probably some of the issues. So let's see what else is going on. What's on your mind? I like this tracking thing. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of working out, stuff that's going to be happening here over the summer. Just trying to plan ahead. You guys remember all that giant plaque project from last fall? That's going to be coming up again this year. Hopefully, unlike last year though, hopefully we're going to have a lot more time. I believe sometime in June this year, I should start getting some of the information. So literally next month, and I can actually start working on that instead of having to wait until, like the end of September and have literally 3 weeks to try to get it all done. I'm already starting to do a little bit of preparation on that. I actually glued up one of the blanks the other day. I had a few pieces left over from last year, glued that up and started getting things in order. I'm going to be ordering 3D printer filament this week so that I can begin printing all of that stuff and just be way ahead of the game this year, which is going to be cool. I mean, there was some sort of fun and excitement to trying to get it all done in, no time last year, but thankfully this year we won't have to mess with any of that. So at least fingers crossed anyway, we don't have to. Because I've got all the templates saved, I've got all the files saved, all the hard work I think is done. That's just going to be, rinse and repeat this year. So kind of looking forward to that, getting started on it. That was definitely pretty cool. Don't know yet how many I'll have to make, but that is something that I'm thinking ahead, and something I'm going to be starting to work on over this summer. My daughter's going to be out of school, so maybe we'll get some projects under our belts. I don't know. Figure out some different things to make. So that's kind of some of the stuff that that I'm thinking about right now over the summer. Just trying to plan ahead so that I can get materials and parts and pieces and anything like that. Sam says, bam, 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 thumbs up. Don't forget to smash the like button. Psst, it's totally free. Yes, thank you, Sam. It is totally free. Hit that thumbs up. And also, if you're not, hit the subscribe button. Oops, I've just signaled some sort of something for the camera to do. I think I've turned on the tracking or something. There we go, yeah. But yeah, totally free. And again, thank you to everybody who tunes into these lives. It's just literally is the highlight of my week. Just being able to hang out with everyone and talk. Robert says, thanks, Sam, for the reminder of the like button. Yes, and I can say, thank you, Sam. Sam Packin says, yeah, me too, Sam. Drissy Guitars, what's going on? Drissy Guitars, what's on your workbench? What kind of guitars? What are you working on? What kind of guitar projects do you have in the works? I've got some guitar tools in the works. Just 3D printed this yesterday. This is going to, I already mentioned, it's going to a local tech, 20-inch radius block. And also a few other things that I'm working on that once I get a little farther along, it'll probably become a video. But what are you working on? What are you building? Robert says, having some lead time for a project do help reduce the stress levels. Yes. Last year, that project was insane. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but the scope and the scope was large, and the time frame, well, it wasn't. There was literally not enough time to get it done. Well, really, without having to do crazy stuff, which we did. Long hours, lots of days, but we got it done. And yeah, this year's gonna be a little smoother. I don't have to do a lot of the figuring out, at least. Even if I have to make a bunch of them, at least the files and everything are done. So it's going to be cool. Time 7 says, Drissy Guitars! Good to see you. Haha, see? Time 7 says, turned out great though. Yeah, thank you. It did. It turned out amazing. And I don't feel at all weird saying that because the way they turned out, I'm definitely I'm proud of that. So yeah, just planning out the summer. That's where we're at. Like it's kind of hard to believe that school's out for another summer. And yeah, it always, I don't know why, this year especially, it kind of makes me really stop and think about that. I don't know, it's like, when you're a kid, and your parents, maybe grandparents say, "Oh, time goes by so fast." Right? Time's just flying by. And as a kid, you're like, "What are you talking about?" Like this, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard kind of thing, right? And it seems like summer break is so long, and there's so much, you just can't wait. But now that you get older, you're like, oh, I kind of get it, right? Time flies by. And you got to be intentional with stuff like that. uh yeah, so that's kind of where I've been the last couple days, really. The back of my mind, like, man, how can we already be on summer? How can school be out? How can my daughter be going into another grade higher? It's wild. Heritage says that was the first big mission in the Bamboo Labs printer. It was. It did not get a break-in period. It literally got put to work as soon as that thing came in. Yeah. Yep. And we'll see this year. I don't think I'll be picking up another one, but the thought has entered my mind. Like to have two of those printing would be kind of cool. I don't know. At the moment, I don't see a need for it, but it depends on how many end up. Once I start getting a number of as to how many of these things I got to make. Maybe we'll add another one. I don't know. I don't think we'll need to. We should be able to. I mean, I could start printing right now. I just don't want to print too many of one and not enough of another, and have to hold these things over for another year. So I'm kind of waiting until I get initial counts in there, and then I'll start printing some of those, some of the centerpieces for that. Yeah, time service says trial by fire. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I did enough. I did a couple of tests on my little Ender 3, and it did not take long to realize that that is just not going to cut it. It doesn't print fast enough. The quality is not quite enough, and well, for the large triangle plaque, its size, it won't even fit on there. So I had to get something bigger. And that printer has been incredible. This was printed on the Bamboo Labs. I don't even use the Ender anymore. I kept it around for a little while, thinking that I might have some uses for it, but I haven't used it. Let me get that. Let me get this so where it doesn't focus on my face. The quality on this is pretty impressive. And being able to do multicolors, like that's just super cool. Robert says Adair Guitars YouTube channel has been doing videos of different tools he has been developing for working on guitars. I think I have seen some of those. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm working on a couple things. Why is it? Follow me. I'm up here. I'm up here. Hello. Yeah, I've been working on some of those as well. Um, is it? There you go. One of them is 3D printing right now. Actually, it's probably done. I'm just trying to do a test. I'm trying to see if I can do this in multicolor, and so that's what. Like I said, once I get a little farther, I'll talk more about them. But I'm trying to keep it a little bit under wraps until I get it a little bit more presentable. Sam says I may have Chinese takeaway later. The food, not the people. Sam, that I've been thinking about that the last couple days. I don't know why, but Chinese takeout sounds amazing to me right now. Maybe we'll have to do that. Tomorrow's the last day of school. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe that's what we should do. Get takeout to kind of celebrate. My daughter did say she wants to do something as kind of a celebration. I don't know if that means go out to dinner or what, but we can get Chinese. That sounds delicious. Robert's laughing at Sam. Oh boy. Harry dude, I don't think you told us what you're working on. Did you? What's on your bench? Are you back to doing lots of repairs and things now, or are you still working on setting up the place? Time Surfing says, reheating my spaghetti sauce. I made spaghetti last night. I'm gonna have that leftovers again for tonight. Okay, this is totally off the wall, not workshop related whatsoever, but who is with me? Hit that thumbs up button or show of hands if you think spaghetti the next day, leftover spaghetti, is better than the first day. I love leftover spaghetti. It is amazing the first day you make it, but I don't know what it is. After it sits in the fridge overnight, it is so much better the next day. My daughter agrees, but let me know. I don't know why. So not everyone agrees. Gina doesn't agree, but I love it the next day. Sam says, try the spicy noodles. I like the spicy chicken, the General Tso's chicken. I think it's what they call it, Tao's, General Tao's, just Tso's. I don't know. Time Surfing agrees. Sam, you don't like spaghetti? Do you not like spaghetti, or don't like leftover spaghetti? Harry Dude says, yep, back open for business. Got heaps of guitars coming in. Haven't restarted making pig guards yet. Right on, probably just catching up after the move. That's awesome. I am glad you have a lot of work. That is so cool. Patty says, I like it cold the next day. Ooh, I don't think I've tried it cold the next day. Cold spaghetti. Definitely, I'd always heat it up. I'm going to have to try a bite or two and see what it's all about. The Time Surfing says, pizza cold, leftover spaghetti. Yeah, I love leftover pizza cold. Unless, sometimes you ever had leftover pizza where it gets like super rock hard? Then I like to warm it up because it typically softens. But yeah, leftover pizza. Heritage says, on site at a customer's warehouse, repairing PA and lighting gear. My normal Wednesday night. Oh, that's cool. So is it like once a week or certain days a week you go to the customer's location? That's kind of a cool gig. That's a cool setup. I like that. I've been thinking about taking on more guitar repairs. I mean, I don't do a lot. I was going to do a setup for a friend of mine the other day. He was selling a couple of guitars on eBay, and I told him I'd do the setup, but it sold right away, so I didn't even get a chance to do the setup. Apparently, he'd already listed it, but thought it might sell quicker if it was set up, but it sold quick anyway. But I've been pondering that, taking on a few more repairs. Just because I think it would give some good video content. Plus just be kind of a fun little thing to do. A little more of a side gig. I don't know. Not really a side gig, but Robert says, never had that happen before. Just had the stream is on, crash, had to reconnect. Mine did that earlier. It was weird. The whole tab crashed. Sam Packin says, anything like spaghetti or chili is better the next day. I advertise that I do setups and repairs these days. Yeah, right on. Setups are great. I don't mind setups and stuff at all. The thing that I don't really want to get into, at least I don't feel like I do, is doing like the, refinishes and restorations. That is definitely not my thing. But setups and minor, repairs, I don't mind that at all. Even refrets, I'm not a fan of. I think if somebody wanted me to do one, I'd probably have my buddy Matt at Zimbelman Guitars do it. Just because, I don't know, it just doesn't sound fun to me. It just doesn't. I don't know why. Tony's here. Tony says, morning, sunshine. Tony, good morning. Good morning and welcome. Welcome back. What are you up to this fine morning? It's a fine Wednesday morning. Sam says, please promise that you won't heat up water in the microwave. Use a stove and pan. Do it properly. Sam, I got a little insider tip for you, and some of you might be surprised at this. I do not own a microwave. We do not have a microwave in the house. We haven't had one literally for probably the last, 10 years. Maybe longer than that. And quite honestly, for the most part, except for maybe once a year, twice a year, maybe. I don't miss it whatsoever. And even on those rare occasions that that I do think, man, if I had a microwave, this would be a lot faster. I don't even really miss it then. It's just a thought. Yeah, we haven't had one for a long time. Our house is really small, and at one point our microwave had died, and we got rid of it, and with the intent of getting another one, and we just got used to, like, we kind of just realized that we like having the counter space rather than the microwave. So, I mean, if I had a little more space, I would have a microwave. But given that our kitchen is really small at the moment, I don't miss it whatsoever. So, how many people in this world nowadays do you know that don't have a microwave? Me. I'm the only one that I know of. So, Sam, don't you worry. When I got to heat up water, it is definitely on the stove. Edgelite's here. Edgelite, what's going on? Edgelite says, sorry guys, just got here. Dealing with old sick dog issues. Vet is coming tomorrow. Edgelite, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that the pet is sick. That's not good. Hopefully the vet gets there and can get him fixed right up. Heritage says, yes, every Wednesday night. Used to be a roadie for these guys and moved into repairs for them around 2007. Oh, that's cool. Right on. Yeah, that would be a fun gig too. I know a few people that have done that as their thing. Roadie, teching for bands. I think that would be pretty cool. I could do that. I think too. I think it'd just be something fun to experience. I don't know if I'd want to do it for years and years, but I don't know. I think it'd just be cool, even if it's like a local tech. Oh, I don't even know if that's a thing. But yeah, there's just something that I could see myself doing that because, I love the music scene and I love guitars and all of that. I think that'd be a really fun gig. Robert said they just opened a new Chinese restaurant in Stillwater. I haven't eaten at it yet. Need to try it. I like Chinese food. Me too, Robert. Me too. We have one. We have two of them up the road from us. It used to be one. When the first one opened, the food was amazing. So good, like literally the best Chinese food that I've ever had. But then they opened up a second one. But since I was already a fan of this first one, I still kept going to the first one because the food was awesome. And again, this is totally unrelated, but when we went after the second one opened, we went to the one that we'd always gone to, and the food didn't taste quite the same. So we thought, no, that's kind of weird. Whatever. Well, then since it tasted a little bit strange, the next time we decided to try the new one, and it tasted exactly like the first one used to. It turns out when the second one opened, the cook that had worked at the first one went to work at the second one, and of course the food tasted the same. So now we go to this newer one all the time, and it's just incredible. Paul's here. Paul, good morning, Paul. How are you? Paul says, sorry, so late. Busy at work. Congrats on 100K. Great job. Now maybe you can afford a microwave with all that new YouTube money. Yeah, right. The 100K has absolutely nothing to do with the YouTube money. And I don't know, given the, I don't know what it is. I guess it's somewhat related to the markets and everything else around here. And the YouTube money is definitely not going to buy me a microwave right now. If you catch my drift. But yeah, it's not going the way you would expect. But thank you. Congrats on the 100K. Yes, it's awesome. And thank you for being part of it, Paul. I really appreciate it. It's super cool. And yeah, I don't see me buying a microwave anytime soon with all that YouTube money. Oh boy, that's funny. I don't know what could I buy? Like a yard sale toaster maybe? Time Servant says, after going to China, I stopped eating American-made Chinese food. Highly disappointing. I can imagine. Yeah, I guess, we shouldn't call it Chinese food, I guess. I've never been to China, but maybe Chinese-American food. But I love Chinese-American food. I really do. Sam says they need to rename microwaves to nuke boxes. Yeah, that's kind of what they are. I don't have any problem with microwaves. Like I said, we just got used to having the counter space, and I'd rather have that than a microwave. I don't have anywhere I can put one like up above or anything like that. Paul says, we have a Chinese sushi place near here. The name, kid you not, is, I'm going to say it, the Fuku Sushi. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a sushi fan. I'm not big on seafood myself. I'll eat it breaded and fried, like some good old fish and chips, Sam. I'll eat some fish and chips for sure. But sushi or even unbreaded, I can't do it unbreaded, baked, any of that sort of thing. But fish and chips, is super good. Or like the Friday fish fries. Woo! I'm all in. Angela says, oh yeah, congrats. Right on. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's definitely super cool. Sam Packin says, I think sushi is Japanese. Yeah, that I have no idea, honestly. I just know it's seafood, and I don't do a whole lot of that. Harry Dude, sadly, my favorite Chinese place closed down. It was called Walk This Way. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That sounds like a cool name for like one of those places that cooks in front of you or something, where they do all the cooking. But I guess that's not on a wok, though. That's on like a flat griddle thing. Yeah, Walk This Way. That. I like it. Sam says we eat cod. Yes, cod, whitefish. Pretty much all the whitefish. A haddock, cod, all those I can do. Bread it and fry it. Woo, super good. Edgelight says, I lived in Hong Kong 30 years ago. I've had the real stuff. I can imagine. That is cool. That's awesome. Super cool. Patty says, I'm having fish finger sandwich for tea later. Right on. Nice. Oh, somebody forgot to turn off their notifications. That would be this guy. Robert says, I have 2 microwaves. One came with a house when I bought it. The other was a wedding present many years ago. I've had to replace the fuse and the wedding gift one twice. Interesting. Time Serpent says, my brother-in-law is Japanese, makes great sushi and teriyaki. Oh, man, I can imagine. That's cool. Rick says, nothing better than oyster cone with raw quail egg on it. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, have at it. Right on. All right, where are we at for time here? I'm going to go over and take a look at this, make sure everything's good. Yeah, it looks like it hasn't cut out. Stream, it says stream is healthy. Everything seems to be working. Interesting. Right on. Well, guys, we have come up on the hour. And if you got something else, throw it in the comments. We'll chat about it. But I know I got to get back to work here shortly. I got to get this old crate back together. Harry Dude, I do like that idea of building it into an amp. And I'm going to keep that in mind because that would be so cool. That would be super cool. I'm probably not going to do it at this moment, but it's definitely a cool idea for this one or maybe a different one that I might find. This time of year, we are coming up on, yard sales, garage sales. I don't know if they're, if they call them that, like, what do they call them in Australia? Or Sam, do they call them like boot sales or something like that? Where people, just sell a bunch of used stuff. Seems like this time of year, going into summer, late spring, summertime, it seems like a great time for, to catch those sales. And you always, depending on the sale, you can find cool old stuff like this. So I'm hoping to be able to hit some more of those this year. Maybe we'll find some stuff. But I really think that is a cool idea. I think that'd be awesome. Build it into an amp, an actual crate amp. Sam says, thanks for the fantastic stream today, Jeff. Time surfing. Best food comes from the roadside stands in whatever country. I agree, 100%. Rick says, I got to fly too. Celebrate your day, everyone. Right on. Rick, I like that. Celebrate your day. Paul says, have a great week, everyone. Congrats again, Jeff. Time to start building yourself a nice frame for it. I'm still trying to figure out where to put it. I don't even know if I'll frame it exactly. I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to go out here. It's going to get covered in dust somewhere. We'll probably rearrange something up here. Maybe I need to move the sandpaper cabinet, find a different spot for that. Maybe that can shift over there. I don't know. It's going to go out here because it's where it belongs, right? It got all dusty. I think it was it Time Surfing that said that on the stream on Sunday. The dust is what got us where we are, and we're just gonna let it. It deserves to be in the dust, and that's where it's gonna be. Sam says, "Be safe, Drizzy Guitars. Cheers." Harry Dude says, "I have an old Rex AG6 amp from the late 50s, early 60s. Would be a cool circuit to build into that box." Oh wow. Well, I'd have to look for a schematic or something. Patty says, "Time Surfing gets it." Yes. Yeah. The roadside stands, man. You support those people that are out there selling the food. That's the good stuff. Harry Dude says, "Continue the circuit." Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, if you've already got the schematic. Patty says, "Cheers, boys." Patty, cheers to you too. Right on. Have an awesome week. Harry Dude says, "Yard sales or garage sales." Okay. Sam says, "How many amps do you get from an amp?" One. I don't know. Time Surfing, yard sale and garage sales. Yeah. Yard sale, garage sale. Yeah, they're about all the same. I like them though. But you gotta get it in the right area of town. Certain areas of the town, you don't find like the cool old stuff. You might still find some good deals, but you don't quite find like the cool old vintagey things. Harry Dude, how many watts from a what? Haha. Robert, I've had sushi once. Did not care for it myself. One that gave me the most trouble was some salmon wrapped in seaweed, and it was the seaweed is what got me. Robert said, "Everyone stay safe and healthy. Have a good one." Right on. Everybody, have an awesome week, and thank you again for being part of this thing as as we hit this milestone a few days ago. Again, I'm so grateful to all of you, and I can't say thank you enough for just being awesome, being supportive of the channel, and just being awesome in general. So thank you so much. Truly, I really mean that. And yeah, we're just going to keep on trucking. I'm going to get back to work now. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Get out in your shops, do some cool stuff, build some things, fix some things, spend some time outside. Even if the weather's cooling off, Harry Dude, hope you enjoy it. And you guys, thanks again. We're going to get out of here and get back to work. Get this crate done so I can build me a hand plane next. Right on. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you. We're out. Not yet. Stream will stop immediately. Yes. Later, everybody. Thank you again.